Hello and welcome to Labour Lens. I am Sharon Ijason. On this week's episode of the program, we will continue our special edition on the ILO conference, which is taking place at Geneva, Switzerland. But first, let's take the news. We will be right back.
At 70, Chief Economist and General Secretary, Nigeria Labour Congress, Peter Ozoeson, is set to retire from active service. NLC has put this public lecture together in honor of Ozoeson's many contributions to the struggle for workers' emancipation. The theme is rethinking the role of the state in Africa's development. The guest lecturer and other speakers agree that Africa has not done too well with its vast human and natural resources due to absence of strong national institutions.
It is increasingly difficult to tell our governments that management of consumption is not sustainable. In other words, we need to bring all the forces of production into alignment and involve ourselves in economic production activities.
One politician said, when they are talking of poverty, a Nigerian speaking from the dustbin, in my lifetime, I am watching Nigerians waiting for you to try to drop anything in the dustbin. What a life and what a failure of those leaders that made that possible.
We've had this level of problems in the African continent, to the extent that integration has become very difficult. And the way to it must be that the nations must be strong enough itself before you can have the Pan-African development process.
The provision of security and the regulation of the economy is central to the development of Africa as a continent, and Nigeria in particular. We can achieve more if there is conflict everywhere around Africa.
Waba decries the lack in Africa in the midst of plenty and attributes prevailing security challenges to widespread corruption. He is worried that Nigeria has overtaken India as world's poverty capital and challenges the Buhari government to go after the 350 Nigerians owing banks more than 5 trillion naira.
How can 350 Nigerians out of almost 200 million Nigerians be allowed to borrow 5.4 trillion from our banks, which they could not pay? I urge government to do everything possible. Nigeria will not sympathize with anybody that have borrowed such money and they are still living in their comfort zone. They should be arrested. Those money should be recovered.
Speakers and discussants agree on the development in Africa is not an act of God and canvass good governance and policy options if the continent must make progress.
According to a report by Brookings Institution, Nigeria has now taken over from India as the nation with the poorest number of extreme poor people. The report says the number of Nigerians in extreme poverty increases by 6 people every minute. The report's trajectories as at the end of May 2018 suggested that Nigeria has about 87 million people in extreme poverty, compared with India's 73 million. But this report is coming at a time when the country has come out of recession and its government has rolled out different economic growth plans for the country, creates doubts in the minds of many Nigerians, as adds to the authenticity of the report.
Obviously, international organizations are coming up with their reports on a regular basis, but fact has actually shown that in many cases, they are not always correct. And, you can't dwell on past record always to make a justification. If you say Nigeria has overtaken India in the poorest, you need to look at the economy indices to show that.
Economic employment growth and social intervention programs that is geared at people at the grassroots, but it is important that that particular report really negates some of the missions and visions of this particular government.
I find it hard to relate 85 million Nigerians living below $1 or $2, and India that has a population of about 1.3 billion. I don't know how it's going to correlate.
federal government, on its part, dismisses the report, saying that the indices used for the report may have been compiled when Nigeria was in recession. The Nigerian government stance does not stop its citizens from asking the federal government to do more towards improving the economy.
For the government to see how they can partner with NGOs and civil society to communicate what they are doing to the understanding of the grassroots community and see how they can create facility for this grassroots community or businessmen to access credit for them to do business.
To create wealth, to do entrepreneurial development, to empower people at the grassroots, so people can be self-reliant, that people can begin to be productive, people can begin to do something on their own.
In March, the International Monetary Fund had said Nigerians are getting poorer, pointing out the need for coherence and comprehensive economic reforms for the country's development.
It was a chant of dissatisfaction as members of the non-academic staff union of the Federal Polytechnic Ekewe marched around the institution to the amusement of students in the hostels.
We don't have road here, we don't have water here, we don't have light. So please, Mr. President, please come to our aid and make sure our cry, our salary is paid in full, our arrears are paid in full, we have issue of PICA not being paid. If it is delegates or if it is a panel that they will send to our institution to find out the real thing that is happening here. So we are begging on the federal government or the Minister of Education to come down to our aids and investigate exactly what is happening to our school.
To address issues of salary shortfall, the Ekewe Polytechnic non-academic staff is sending an open invitation to the Integrated Payroll and Personnel Information System.
From 2015 till now, in fact, no worker here will tell you that I know how much is my salary. Because today, they will pay you 10 naira, tomorrow they will give you 7 naira. Our salaries has been deducted anyhow. We don't know what they call salary shortfall. Where is it coming from? We don't know. We want IPPIS to come and capture us to solve this problem. Because the management here is doing nothing.
We've been short paid for a very long time. We've been promoted without implementation. In fact, we don't know now. We want the federal government to come to our aid.
The executive assistant to the rector of the institution reacts to claims by the non-academic staff.
Lingering issues of shortfall in salaries since 2015, but the truth, is that this rector came in 2016, about August 2016, and I've invited the Presidential Initiative for Continuous Audit PICA to do their capturing and assessment, and that has been done. And all staff need to do is to be patient. Concerning promotion and non-implementation as raised by NASU, well, it's to the credit of this present management under Dr. Seabo Enetime that for the first time since inception of this institution, staff have received promotion arrears. It's verifiable.
Solidarity forever. Despite the protest, the non-academic staff has resolved not to down tools.
The House of Representatives has called for a review of the age limit in vacancies announced by some government agencies, including the Nigeria Police Force. A motion by Babajimi Benson from Lagos worries that most of the vacancies often require that applicant must not be more than 30 years of age. The legislator is concerned that it is difficult to determine and plan the age of graduation in view of the unstable nature of Nigeria's education system. He wants the age limit to be reviewed to 40 years.
I tried in my own little effort to attract employment to my federal constituency, but unfortunately, I've been incapacitated by the policies adopted by these MDAs. MDAs, when they release the job opportunities in their portal, they always put an age restriction. This age restriction, in my humble opinion, is discriminatory, considering the fact that NYSC eligibility allows 30-year-olds to be able to participate in the NYSC. So 30-year-olds are most times not able to apply for jobs within the MDAs when the portals are open. Accordingly, the job of this 8th Assembly, ably held by you, is to fight all discriminatory tendencies that we see that pervades the land.
In fact, it's not only May salary, even it happens to inform you that both April and May has not even been paid. And they have even paid June. For workers for government not to pay workers May salary is too bad. The reason is not far-fetched. Is it the worker that went on strike? Why is it that the worker went on strike? If the agreement between the two sides okay, will they go on strike? Therefore, for them not to pay is a double punishment on the worker, and it shows insensitivity of the government. And this may even bring to another crisis that is also looming, because they are supposed to be paid. Even paying the salary is not even yet enough, not to talk of not paying. And you say you are fighting corruption. And you renege the agreement between the other side, and the other side took to what labor law prescribed that they should go on strike for it. And they went on strike. Still, you have not paid them. It means you are calling for another strike to come. It is bad, and it is uncalled for. Therefore, they have to rethink how to pay the people's salary.
If the senators, the House of Reps and everybody, they can be taking that volume of money and refuse to pay workers' salary, it's unfortunate. It means they are insensitive to the workers' plight. They have an agreement with the workers. They are reneging from the agreement now. So if the workers now go on strike, you are now saying that you will not pay them salary. That will be double punishment. Because in the first instance, you refuse to implement the agreement you had with them. Now they went on strike. Now you say you are not going to pay their salary again. It's unfortunate and it's unfair. It means they are insensitive. They don't know how it pinches. If a senator can be going on with about 13.something million per annum, and the House of Reps, they are taking various allowances, for them to now pay peanut to the workers, they cannot pay it. It's unfortunate. They are not helping the situation. And then we say we are saying that the youth are they are lazy. They are lazy. How will somebody take up government work when you know when you work, you want to go, you will not be paid? It's unfair and it's unfortunate, because all these House of Reps, all the senators and all of them, they are taking their own salaries, their own whatever all this money they are stealing. This what do they call it? Constituency allowances and everything. What are they using the money for? They just take the money, go and buy Okada for people. Can they give Okada to their own son or their own children? They buy the grinding paper, something for people. Is that what we need? Pay the workers on time. Let them be responsible for their family. They have their own family. They have to pay school fees, pay the house rent and everything. And you are paying peanut and you are not even paying it as at when due. 18,000 naira is nothing. 18,000 is not what a senator will use to buy ordinary paper or ordinary tea. See, what they are using on their paper. 2.something million per annum for paper, for newspaper. It's uncalled for, and you cannot pay workers' salary. You are punishing people, and all of them are sitting down there shouting. It's unfair. So they have to change their system, and the only language the Nigerian government understands is strike. Is it necessary that before the workers are getting their deals, must they go on strike? It's not supposed to be. Because as a government, you have budgeted, you have planned. Okay, this is the number of workers we are having. That is why we are having a lot of ghost workers. And all these ghost workers, they are their own family, member of their family. Their children, just taking salary without working, sitting down at the comfort of their room, at the end of the month, take salary. And then those people that are really working, suffering, you are depriving them of their livelihood. It's uncalled for, it's unfair. So they have to look to it and do something urgent about it.